Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. This episode is going to be studying a piece by the established multidisciplinary artist known as Proxima Centauri B. This episode, we're going to be talking about the classic portrait, contemporary fashion, and we're also going to cover the multivariate meanings of the symbol Mercury. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, we're looking at face-to-face with this lone foreign subject, right? Really a striking sight in that initial introduction. The viewer likely feels a sense of awe as novelty always makes its ascendant mark, right? So you'll notice, of course, the placement in center makes it impossible to miss, just directly face-to-face with that subject. We also see this achieved, of course, that light on dark contrast, absolutely striking. Like I said, you're not going to miss it here. What we notice is a format of the classic portrait. So, of course, you see about the shoulders, or what we would call the bust. And, of course, that always kind of emphasizes the likeness or the intimacy of that subject there. So with a face like this, it feels a lot more confrontational, just face-to-face with that subject as if they're directly looking at us, maybe even trying to speak to us, right? Really interesting things there. One thing you may also notice is a sense of texture here, right? We see this everywhere from our subject's attire all the way to this kind of delicate wisp of what appears to be a butterfly or some type of wings, all the way to her hair, right? That sense of texture gives us this incredible sense of realism and really immerses us face to face with the subject here. What you also notice, of course, in the realm of color, we have this kind of grayscale scheme, right? And this is quite important because it mimics what we'd call quicksilver or the kind of silver aspect of Mercury metal. So many different meanings to the work at hand, right? This title of the work is Mercurian, so incredibly important. One thing that also really drew my eye is this fashion, right? This sense of fashion within the work before us here. It feels contemporary, but also modern in a lot of ways. And what really drew my eye are almost like these military-esque, suit shoulders, if you will. Very striking, of course. They go to a direct point there. We also have the direct points there. So very striking forms within the work here. And of course, you could give a bit of inspiration to fashion within here as well, if you're really into that. And so the title of this work is Mercurian. Like I said, it may incite themes of space exploration to some, right? Wouldn't be too far off in noting themes of science fiction or say, fantasy within the work before us here. But even then, there is this subtle sense of surrealism as, of course, our subject's face is almost like a literal butterfly or wings of some kind. It's incredibly interesting. So although the sense of texture makes it feel incredibly realistic, the subject matter and what we actually see is quite surreal in nature. So that's really interesting, kind of a sense of juxtaposition there. And so Mercury is also, like we said, quicksilver, so metal Mercury, but it's also referred to as a planet, and it's also referred to as a god as well. And so this is incredibly important. Mercurian, it feels alien in a way, but it has a very long history of symbolism, right? And what's so interesting, of course, like I said, we see the wings across the eyes, and the eyes are already an incredibly important symbol, right? Awareness, knowledge, attention, anything you can really point to there. The eyes are incredibly important. What we see here, though, are the wings, of course, the divine, any type of bird or wings are normally associated with divinity. We see that attributed to the eyes. So in place of the eyes, we have the wings. You could draw so many different things from there. I'm not going to go too deeper into that, but I think it's quite interesting that we see that in the work before us here. So like I said, Mercury is a multivariate symbol, right? It represents everything from technology to communication, exploration, and it is also associated with the god Hermes, so even at times it's associated with thievery as well. And this is actually really important because the artist is kind of playing with this multivariate meaning as well, right? We talked about quicksilver, we talked about, say, that kind of alien nature of the Mercury planet, but we also need to talk about is the idea of thievery. So the artist used this in context of the controversy surrounding AI generative art, right? There's a lot of people who say that AI generative artists are stealing from other artists. Proxima Centauri B, being an AI artist themselves, we see this here, dealing with this sense of kind of thievery or kind of these accusations that that artist is getting all the time and kind of displaying that within the work before us here. There's almost a sense of kind of the black and white or a sense of duality, only thinking in black and white. With AI generative controversy, people think that you're either a AI artist that steals or you're one of the good ones, so to speak. So there is this kind of black and white thinking that also comes with that, which I think is incredibly interesting, right? So many different meanings that you could truly draw from this work, right? And so with technology, we talked about the sense of kind of exploration, communication, and technology, right, with the symbol of Mercury. We certainly see this here. This feels incredibly futuristic, right? Like I said, that contemporary fashion element, but also that sense of science fiction as well, right? So there's a sense of technology, exploration, and kind of the intersection of all of those themes as well. And so it's incredibly interesting. We see, of course, a revival of such a symbolic figure known as Mercury. And like I said, we covered so many different different multivariate meanings of that symbol Mercury. And so this is an AI generative work, so it was created in an AI art program. Or well, I mean, not necessarily. It's clip-guided diffusion, so it's a lot more, say, decentralized than what we would normally refer to as DALL-E 2 or Midjourney. So a lot more kind of in the dirt, behind the scenes, really kind of tinkering with those custom models as well. Proxima Centauri B does some amazing jobs, not using Midjourney or Disco Diffusion, of course, does at times, but all in all, creating really unique works and even some mixed media expressions as well. It's absolutely stunning here. And so, like I said, the original artist, Proxima Centauri B, always doing some amazing stuff in the world of AI generative art, and even, like I said, multidisciplinary as well, doing some digital illustration on top of that in addition. So absolutely stunning. We always love to study that artist's work, and it's just a blessing to talk about such profound symbolism as this, right? Really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about so many different things: contemporary fashion, kind of grayscale color scheme, that Quicksilver, the portrait, AI generative art, the controversy around AI art, all the symbolism of Mercury, so many different things we hit on today. I truly hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, if y'all did, go check out the original artist, Proxima Centauri B, always doing some really good stuff. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.